You didn't know me when you were a kid, in trouble at school, alone at lunch again. I mean, I think it's fairly common to be into comics if you're into music, because it's a certain kind of like, you know, a collector's mentality in some sense. Like going to the record shop and browsing and getting the newest release is kind of tied to you know, comic book fandom and wanting to know about what's current and what's in circulation. And also, like, I think there's always been somewhat of an affinity between like alt comics and rock bands.
I think I kind of got into comics because I got interested in like Sub Pop records, and Charles Burns did a lot of the artwork for Sub Pop records. So I just read Black Hole, and actually Sadie recommended Black Hole to me also, and I really fell in love with that book. So I just kind of started checking out a lot more Charles Burns, and then just started checking out more graphic novels because of it.
Fear of my cold head, you never saw me.
I drew a lot of my own comics as a kid. I've actually just realized that I had one comic when I was a kid that was kind of like a superhero thing, like starring myself and all my friends. And I drew my hair in a way that it wasn't, but I had like the front dyed like I do now. And I never had it until recently, and I just realized a couple days ago that I've somehow made my childhood like superhero comic character come to life. Like when I had superpowers, I would have a blonde streak in my hair, but when I didn't have superpowers, there was no blonde streak. So I guess I have superpowers now.
I was better off just being blind, but I didn't know you yet.
One of my favorite issues is in this collection. The issue is The Death of Speedy Ortiz, and I was like rereading them while I was sort of like, you can actually see right here, The Death of Speedy Ortiz. So I was reading these while I was writing a bunch of songs as sort of a home recording solo project, and it needed a title, and I was, I thought it would be kind of funny to have like a band called Speedy Ortiz, that their first album was called The Death of Speedy Ortiz. So that was one part that went into choosing it, and also all of the issues that follow this one are sort of about like Speedy's sister and friends and ex-girlfriends coping with his death and like seeing his ghost in these different either emotional or like sort of real demonic looking manifestations. And I had like a childhood best friend who just passed away, and my roommate had passed away a few months before that. So I was dealing with a lot of grief over deaths of people who were very close to my age, and sort of struggling to make sense of that. And it seemed like what these characters were going through, like there's what like the Death of Speedy Ortiz issue ends, and like the very next issue is like Hopi going on tour. So it kind of cuts really dramatically to like them dealing with their regular lives, and it just sort of spoke to how I was feeling at the time and trying to go forward with like regular life, and all the punk rock stuff doesn't hurt either.